Standard 7, Term 2, Unit 1. The Poem on Adventure. This poem is written by Adventure Krokos, who was born on 30th June 1951 in Samos, Greece, and now lives in Melbourne, Australia. He is an aspiring poet and has written a number of poems inspired by nature. In this poem, he describes about adventure. So children, here is an interesting poem for you on your favorite topic. Guess. Yes, it's on adventure. What is adventure? It's an unusual and exciting or daring experience. So unusual means what? It's not the usual type. Okay, it's an unusual thing and very exciting. It gives you pleasure, even though you're. So daring means even though you are frightened to do that act, you may be frightened inside, but you will not show it out. You want to finish it up, and you have a pleasure in that. You get an experience in that. So this may include, some adventures include mountaineering, then rafting, paragliding, rock climbing, then trekking. All these are, this is scuba diving, you can see in the picture. These are adventurous games, isn't it? Then rafting, you can see in the picture. Even cycling, is an adventure, isn't it? First, when we learn, it's very difficult, then it becomes an adventure. We are having interest in that. It also involves some risk. And then when we go to games, theme parks, so many adventurous experience we have, isn't it? So let us see what the poet wants to tell in this poem. Now let me read the poem for you. This poem is of 48 lines. So let me read the first stanza for you now. Deep inside the mountain, the adventurers hide themselves. They are of all forms and shapes. They all have an excellent ending, because those that live their lives in adventure see the world in an extraordinary way. Here the poet tells us that adventures are very difficult to find because they are hiding themselves somewhere. That means they don't hide literally. The poet wants to tell that how difficult it is to see things inside the mountain. Same way, adventures are also very difficult things. We cannot see them, or we cannot enjoy them as and when we like. It's very, you require some, there is work for that. You have to work for that. You have to practice. Then only you can enjoy the adventure. So the adventure is of all forms and shapes, he says. So here and there, everywhere you can find adventures in different forms. They all have an excellent ending, because those that live their lives in adventure see the world in an extraordinary special way. So the poet tells us that those people who live in adventure and enjoy their lives, the adventurous people see their lives in a special way. It's an extraordinary way for them, because they have to face so many difficulties to achieve that pleasure of adventure. So the poet tells us that through ordinary lives we cannot enjoy the adventure. Only through extraordinary way we can enjoy, he says. Moving on to the next stanza. To attract the adventurers into the patterns of habit, you only need to close your eyes and ask them to embrace you. You can also imagine that you are transparent and feel the wind stream through you. Instead of going against you, or imagine there are tiny little wings on your back, and every time you take a new step, you bounce a bit. The poet further says that when we close our eyes and imagine the adventures we are going to enjoy or go through, we will be able to feel it better, and our life will become transparent, and we will be able to imagine what is happening right in front of us, the adventure, how we are going to enjoy it and all that. So he says that we can also imagine that we should also feel the wind going through us. That is, we We should feel that we have already experienced the adventures. After experiencing the adventure, how we will feel happy. So instead of thinking the negative side of the adventure, if we fall down or when we're going for trekking, something happens, not like that. If you fall down from the cycle, what will happen? Then we cannot enjoy how to ride the cycle, isn't it? So we should forget all those difficulties and enjoy and think how we will enjoy this adventure that we are going to plan and work out. So now the point further says that tiny little wings we should have on our back. That means not literally, he's telling that we should imagine that we are having wings and we can move everywhere, we can fly everywhere, we can do whatever we want. We should not be frightened. The poet says that our life itself is one big adventure. Not everything is going right in anybody's life. So everything we have to face and move. Then only we can enjoy. So back in the days of old, that is olden days, the knights, the soldiers, they used to be very bold and they used to go out with sword and lance, and they were fighting for romance, for the country, for the kingdom. So they were long ago in man's history, when we see in the history, they were all suffering and they were fighting very boldly for a righteous cause. And they were very bold, the knights. And they had considerable applause. That means they got good commands and best wishes and gifts they used to get because they were very righteous and they worked hard and brave for their valor. The kings used to rightly give them gifts and children. We will continue the next part of the poem in the next video. Thanks a lot.